Hi, OHBC kids. It's Miss Rachel. And go ahead and get cuddled up with your mom and dad. It's story time. Tonight we're going to be reading the story called Filled Full. And this story is all about God's miracles and how he can turn nothing into everything. There were once 5,000 tired and hungry and probably very grumpy people sitting on a hillside wanting their dinner. They'd come to hear Jesus that day. They came before breakfast, stayed all morning, all afternoon, and way past dinner. No one had meant to be out there that long, but that's how it was, listening to Jesus. As if time didn't exist. People could listen to Jesus for hours. And on this particular day, that's just what they did. But they hadn't brought enough food, and they couldn't just go and buy themselves a burger and fries because, of course, they were in the middle of nowhere with no shops or restaurants. Besides, that kind of food wasn't even invented yet. What would they do? Jesus' friends had an idea. Let's just send everyone home for dinner. They don't need to go, Jesus said. You can give them something to eat. Did Jesus want them to travel all the way to town and buy food for everyone? Jesus' friends panicked. But we don't have enough money. What food do you have? Jesus asked. Go and see. Now, there was a little boy in the crowd. He had brought a lunch that his mother had made for him that morning. He looked at his 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. It wasn't much, not nearly enough for 5,000, but it was all he had. I have some, he said. Jesus' friends laughed when they saw his little lunch. That's not nearly enough, they said, but they were wrong. Jesus knew it didn't matter how much the little boy had. God would make it enough, more than enough. Jesus said, "Bring me what you have." And so the little boy gave Jesus his lunch. Jesus winked at the little boy and whispered in his ear, "Watch this." How in the world will Jesus feed everyone with just that? Jesus' friends said, because they thought it was impossible. But Jesus knew the one who made all the fish in the oceans. And Jesus knew the one person who in the very beginning had made everything out of nothing at all. How hard would something like this be for someone like that? Jesus took the little boy's lunch, looked up to heaven, and thanked his Father. Then Jesus gave the little lunch back to his friends. As Jesus' friends started to hand out the food, do you know what? It was the strangest thing. No matter how much they broke off, there was always more. And more and more. Enough to feed 5,000 people. Everyone ate as much as they wanted. Second helpings, third helpings, and sometimes even fourth. Until they were all full. And still there were leftovers. Well, Jesus did many miracles like this. Miracles are things that people thought couldn't happen, that weren't natural. But it was the most natural thing in all the world. It's what God had been doing from the beginning, of course. Taking nothing and making it everything. Taking the emptiness and filling it up. Taking the darkness and making it light. That's the end of our story tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you 3 things that I'm thankful for. I am thankful for my family, my 2 daughters and my husband. I'm thankful for great friends. And I am thankful that God always provides for us, even when we think it's impossible. What are some things that God has done for you that you thought may be impossible? What is something about you, something super duper small that God can use in a big way? Have a great night, OHBC kids, and happy Easter tomorrow.